too? You been traveling or just?
Yeah.
Since last time I saw you in Mongolia back?
Yeah. 4 years ago.
Holy guacamole.
Yeah, it was. You get to like sing. Sing.
When did you get back?
You've been traveling too, right? No? Or you,
I guess, yeah, maybe some.
Yeah.
I feel so. I'm Mongolia. I have one of my best friends.
Yeah.
I haven't been there. She got a Fulbright in after college, and there was all things like his work that he's doing. And he's really connected to it, and then pride celebrations and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, folks have really been. New here, I think. But there we go.
Yeah. Interesting. Like the two things are coming on are just how much language, how they use pronouns or gender. Internet, it's like so much lag time.
Oh, we should learn English. What's your favorite show? Big Bang Theory. Yeah.
So were you there solo? No family? Wow. Have you been away from them for that long?
Yeah. His friend was 2 bedrooms, so my business partner was potentially going to come, but then didn't come. But
Cool.
but it kept late and stayed out late, and so I barely saw her. I think I saw her a little bit the first week.
Hi, Andy.
And so he did this summit while he was there. While I was there.
Lucy. You're Andy, right?
You're right.
Brown.
Yeah. Right, be famous. I saw your documentary.
What?
The documentary.
Oh, you did?
Documentary.
You don't know about the documentary on Andy Brown?
Makes me laugh.
I'm gonna have to bring it up and have it show and tell.
When did it come out?
Oh, gosh.
A couple months.
Well, actually, they did it about 5 years ago.
Oh, did they?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
They
Do you,
think, they
do you
think,
still work there?
yeah, they think I'm magic, which of course I'm not.
Oh,
Exactly. There you go.
And one of the, things that videographers love to do. is
Yeah.
Use that slow motion. But I don't like it because it makes me, an old man, look,
Even older?
yeah, and it's, even older is kind of the wrong phrase because it sounds like being old is something wrong with it. But a lot of this is slow motion. But anyway, they think I'm red hot.
They don't
pay me-
preference.
They don't pay me accordingly.
oh no. That,
And there it
is
is.
that around here?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Larry Lane Trail.
Up from, China.
Yeah.
Anyway, there I am.
Um,
Okay. Yeah, I think this seems fun.
You've been recording this whole time.
Yeah, I'm sorry to say that would happen. Y'all hear a bunch of staff. Staff leadership. I think more staff are resigning.
Here,
Yeah. The lead planner. and Staff.
bunch design.
So you have to admit.
Okay. So who is the host? Yeah, I thought that this would launch it because. Oh, participants. The host. I think this is. So we were able to.
Yeah. So, I don't have a problem with it. This meeting is being recorded though, right?
Mhm.
So I can also import audio video files.
Okay. Hello, Mary.
Have quorum. Right?
Oh, yeah.
How important the race is. Hard for me to understand how.
How you doing, Mary? Oh, you just had COVID?
And who's this?
Hey, Cole.
Oh,
Hi, it's good to see you.
Hi, Cole.
hello.
Thank you for joining us, Cole. I'm the link. So it zonked it out of you, huh? Send a couple text messages.
The autopilot finally joined.
Wait.
No, no.
The AI note taker.
The AI note taker.
Andrew Pierce.
Probably. Wait, maybe I should go sit.
That came last month and nobody was here, so.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry that that happened. Okay, let's call this meeting. Is there an echo? Let's call this meeting to order now that we have quorum. All right, September 12th, 2023 meeting of the Portola Valley Race and Equity Committee. Let's do a roll call. Andrew Brown,
Here.
great. Adnan Iftikhar
Here.
and Andrew Pierce.
Here.
Excellent. And I'm Lucy Neely. I'm here. We also have Mary Hufty, our council liaison. And Cole, you want to say hi?
Hi.
Our student liaison. Cole. Cole, how do you pronounce your last name?
Kawaja.
Kawaja.
Yeah,
Kawaja.
thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
And I don't know about John Silver, but I know that Judy Murphy will not be able to make it tonight. Yeah, and Jonathan Clark, due to members not being able yet to participate virtually, is now in the role of student liaison, yeah, as opposed to members, because he is not able to attend in person. So that was where we had to go. Okay, would somebody please volunteer to read our Town of Portola Valley land acknowledgement? I could do it too. Or-
I'm happy to do that.
Thank you.
The town of Portola Valley acknowledges the colonial history of this land we dwell upon, the unceded territory of the Ramaytush, Ohlone, Tamian Nation, and Muwekma Ohlone, who endured a human and cultural genocide that included removal from their lands and their sacred relationship to the land. Portola Valley recognizes that we profit from the commodification of land seized from indigenous peoples and now bear the ecological consequences. We seek to understand the impact of these legacies on all beings and to find ways to make repair.
Thank you. Are there oral communications for items not on the agenda?
Are members allowed to do that?
Absolutely.
All right. I'm just gonna say this. It's not on the, I thought it was gonna be on the agenda, but it's not. There was no such person as Oscar McKinney.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
And I say that because I'm in the DEI committee.
uh-huh.
and it just- so-
Adnan, do you know about this situation?
I just heard about it. Yes, yes.
I read the letter. The letter is obviously aimed at one person. It was
Mhm,
written by somebody. Period.
mhm.
It is,
Cole, do you know what we're talking about?
Oh, I'm not exactly sure. Sorry, could you maybe clarify that?
We're talking about a letter to the editor that showed up in 2 local newspapers that described incident at the town center here and some dogs.
Oh yeah, okay. I heard about that. Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Andy.
I always bring it up because I'm in the dog walking group.
Yeah.
myself,
Mhm,
And there's always people of color there. for one thing,
mhm.
Including my wife. But anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a strange letter.
all over.
Andy, did you hear about what happened?
No.
So there was an incident apparently that somebody felt like they were mistreated at this. They came from Redwood City, I believe, is what the alleged story is, and they came and visited, and they were not welcome, and at least they felt that way, and then they wrote about it, and it got published in 2 local newspapers.
Then they published a retraction. Did you see the second letter?
Oh, I did not see the retraction.
Andy, did you see the second letter?
I wouldn't call it a retraction.
Well,
I-
yeah.
I would call it the same
Mm.
hoax author trying to step back and criticize me.
Right. And just leave it with the one person.
And I believe our committee was mentioned. And
Yes, the Race and Equity Committee was called out. I believe it said that the committee must exist to make sure there are enough brown people to mow the lawns in town. Yeah, based on this incident. Mhm. Yeah, so I think a couple of us have written to Oscar Martinez via the Almanac editor and not heard back.
Somebody who lives in town.
Yeah.
Doesn't like somebody else. That's what. So proven.
Mm-hmm.
Attended by somebody, one person. And it's quite another thing, and it's our business. If it's in any way sanctioned by the town. What should it is.
Yeah. Annie, are you just, mentioning it because it's worth mentioning, or do you think it would be good to take any level of,
I thought it was gonna be on the
Action.
agenda because I thought you had said it would be on the agenda. And obviously it relates to our work and one of our members
Mhm,
theoretically.
mhm,
And I feel better positioned to understand it better than most people because I'm in that dog walking group.
mhm,
Shoot, my wife's there every day. She's not exactly white.
mhm.
There's another person who's definitely not white, and anyone could see was not white. So the whole thing, and it's written like completely from a perspective of somebody who's
Mhm.
every word of it reads like something.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people pointed that out, including journalists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it reads like something I would say if I wanted to do what that person was trying.
Mhm.
It's exactly how I would do it.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Everyone does want to say that because what if there is such a person? You know, I've looked forward, but
Yeah. It's been interesting to not hear back.
Yeah, my wife is at the dog walking group almost every day.
Mhm.
Yeah. Dog play, right? Is it
Yeah.
a dog walking or
Puppy
dog play?
play.
it's a dog group. It's a group of people. It's probably illegal to have a dog.
Right here.
Usually right here at Corte Madera before it got construction.
Okay.
And with the other school also at times.
So, yeah, I'm there almost every day too,
Mhm.
along with her mom. So,
Never seen anybody say you even know who's in the group. It's not like tightly organized.
right, exactly.
Yeah. Andy, do you think it would be prudent to have any action steps to follow up on this?
No,
No. just-
I just needed to say that. So I
Yeah.
said it.
Yeah, thanks. It does seem germane.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other oral communications for items not on the agenda? I will note that we have an AI note taker happening right now, but if I remember correctly, Adnan, it's only for 30 minutes.
Correct.
Okay, so we still will need a secretary. And is anyone here feeling generous enough to, thank you so much.
I'll tack on things, and I may just take notes as well as we go along. So,
Okay, excellent. One other item not on the agenda is committee membership. We lost Kim Marnucci as a committee member before the last meeting where Andy showed up, unfortunately, and no one was here. So
Straight up.
what'd you say?
Both Andys showed up.
Both Andys. Meeting of the Andys. I'm sorry about that. So anyways, I think our charter says, I know our charter says that we can have 9. Right now we have 6. If anybody has a friend or someone you know that you think would be a good addition. And I will point out that at this point we're
We have 7.
we have 7. No, I have been trying my darndest to get our rosters accurate on the agenda. I pretty much go back and forth every month with the clerk, but it never ends up right. Because Cole is not a member. He's a student liaison.
Oh, it says member. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have 6. We can have 9. I will point out we don't have, well, I guess Judith is still a member. I was going to say we don't have a lot of female representation, but it's not so lopsided right now. Okay. approval of minutes. Goodness. Oh yeah, okay, minutes are here. Anyone have anything to add or comments about these minutes?
Since
Nope.
I wrote these, would it be okay for me to motion to approve? the
Definitely.
minutes?
I second it.
Okay, Andy, are you in favor of approving these minutes as written?
Yes.
Great, me too. Thank you. All right, new business. Discuss renaming Columbus Day in Portola Valley. So I put this on here. Somebody who grew up in Portola Valley named Reed Reichart, I think is his name. He lives now near Lake Tahoe. I think he said he was in Ormondale in the 80s. Anyways, he had a teacher there named Robin
Hey,
Taves, yeah. And when everyone else was learning about the missions and doing their mission dioramas, Robin Taves was teaching about the indigenous peoples and focus on that. And so he wrote last year to the town council, and maybe it was forwarded to our committee about the idea of the second Sunday or second Monday in October, which has traditionally been Columbus Day. He is organizing for communities to rename as indigenous people. And so he was reaching out to, I believe so. Yeah, somewhere or near Lake Tahoe. Yeah, so he wrote and he shared how his experience in Robin Taves' classroom in fourth grade was very impactful. And I know a lot of students of Robin Taves were really impacted by just even, I mean, by her whole teaching, but even that one shift of teaching and learning about the indigenous peoples instead of the mission system. Yeah, so he was suggesting asking if Portola Valley would consider that renaming. So yeah, carrying, it seemed worthwhile to look at. And if you look on the Portola Valley town calendar, Columbus Day is not actually, it's not acknowledged or recognized. It's not, I think the town offices are open, so it's not like recognized as a holiday, but also it's not named as Columbus Day on the calendar. So in the case of Portola Valley, it would be more asking the town council to recognize the day as Indigenous Peoples Day, and not necessarily making it a holiday where people have the day off work, but yeah. So in the agenda packet was included a resolution that is from Reed's organizing website called Rename Columbus Day. And it's a draft resolution for the town council of Portola Valley. And I also wrote a cover letter that could go with this draft resolution for the town council. And I'm imagining this as a consent agenda item, because that would get it through expeditiously enough. I think that it could happen for this year. Yeah, so any public comment? Okay. I could share this cover letter via screen share that I also wrote, but I just wanted to get a pulse from the committee whether you think this is worthwhile to present and ask of the town council. And, you know, I'll acknowledge that kind of in the same vein as the land acknowledgement, you know, these things that could be criticized as being more performative and less action oriented, you know, it's not in the same way I think it's insufficient to just honor a day as Indigenous Peoples Day, and then there's other relationship building that's necessary. But I still think it's a good idea. So yeah, curious to hear what other committee members think, whether it's worthwhile to pass on to the town council.
I guess my feeling is if we don't have a Columbus Day. Nobody's got the day off. It's ever been called Columbus Day here. And you
I
could
think it
go-
used to be, but at some point it's not. Yeah.
Okay. Then we're a little late to the party. And I'm not in favor of naming something Indigenous Peoples' Day just to do it. If it was called Columbus Day, yeah, absolutely, he's terrible.
Mhm.
Don't name any of that, fine. No problem with that. I just think, I'm not in favor of having days for ethnic groups.
Mhm. Mhm.
St. Patrick's Day, so it's divisive. So I'm not really in favor of this. I am interested in how it is that we don't have a Columbus Day because it does seem to be an official government holiday in most places that have unionized workforces.
I think half the states have now don't recognize Columbus Day. It's a state by state thing.
But I mean, the city government, if they had it once and then they got rid of it, aren't we like 20 years too late anyway?
We're too late to rename Columbus Day because that Columbus Day is already gone in California. Yeah. It used to be. I distinctly remember learning about Columbus Day in elementary school. Yeah. Yeah. Other members?
Is it not called anything currently?
As far as I can tell.
So it's the date, that day is not acknowledged in any way.
Correct.
It's not a holiday. You could go in and do business that day.
Correct. It's not a holiday. Offices are open and it's not called Columbus Day or Indigenous Peoples Day. As somewhat of context, the movement to rename Columbus Day Indigenous Peoples Day, and I agree the momentum changes if it's not still Columbus Day, but it was first proposed in 1977 by a delegation of Native nations to the United Nations sponsored International Conference on Discrimination Against Indigenous Peoples in the Americas. But yeah, 1977, California was still celebrating Columbus Day, definitely. So the context is different.
I don't really have any opinion one way or another. I
Okay,
think if it was called Columbus Day, I would have an
Yeah.
opinion, but right now
since it's not.
Yeah.
I hear that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think like I would definitely have like a more of an opinion if Columbus Day was still recognized. But I think since that's like not recognized, I don't feel strongly about it one way or another.
Okay, thanks, Cole. Andy Brown, any comments?
We can get along fine without it. Specifically, I think of how peaceful people are in the white man who said he was in a village that he had never even heard of Jesus, as though that's such a unfortunate thing. And I couldn't help but think that maybe that's just as well. In fact, not just as well, better.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna fight for it, so I'm fine. I think particularly because the month of November is Native American Heritage Month. So, if we're looking for another opportunity to make those connections and celebrate Indigenous people, then that one comes right on the heels. And yeah, agreeing with everyone that probably, since it's not Columbus, if it was Columbus.
Columbus Day is even important enough for us to be talking about it.
Okay, let's stop talking about it. I think if it was still called Columbus Day, I would think it was, but it's not. So, okay, getting on to agenda item 4B, discuss honoring Native American Heritage Month, which is November. This might, I don't know if this gets into the same vein, Andy, of what you were just describing of these things potentially having maybe I'm putting words in your mouth, but some level of, I'm just gonna stop actually.
Such a thing as Native American Heritage Month that's recognized, and we want to do something about it. Not,
Yeah.
what are we gonna do about it, other than say we did something? About
Well, if we're gonna say we did something about it, let's do something about it.
it? Well, in other words, we should have something at the, something in town that recognizes that it's that month. We, but, if we do it, we should do it.
I agree. I think it would be great if we do something to recognize Native American Heritage Month. I think we have enough time to organize something. So I guess looking for any level of brainstorming or ideas or interest that committee members might have. Yeah, just does anyone have any ideas in terms of of what we might do to honor Native American Heritage Month? And 2, is anyone interested in working on doing that organizing? Councilmember Hufty, did you want to add something? And if you do, will you speak into the microphone? Please. Thank you.
One thing I wanted to say was I appreciated Lucy looking into the use of the name of Columbus in our calendar. I think that was helpful and a relief to know that we don't overdo it. So that's good. I also think your point of making a concerted effort in November would be nice. And the only thing I could think of that would be really wonderful to do in our town center would be a medicinal and native. We do native plants, but to relate them a little bit to the culture somehow. So if we could have some kind of a cultural display during that month of November, maybe jointly with conservation and who else would be interested in this? But medicinal medicine. I was just at a lecture today about the Aztecs and all the medicines that came out of the 15th, 16th century, and trying to do a display on that of what's unique.
Okay.
I know the town has some sort of collection of miscellaneous things.
Like in the historical.
I may know more about it. But I'm not sure if any of them would relate.
You mean in the historical resource
Yeah.
section of the library?
Town did have, absolutely obliterated by a town manager that we had about 3 or 4 times.
Oh, okay.
He just took it all and threw it away, except probably saved the California condor feather that I had gotten, and which in fact belonged to the state. I suspect that she kept that just for the fun of it. But I don't know. There is no collection. What?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He just considered it all clutter.
Currently being dismantled. Yeah, I was just there. We're a little too late for that. Yeah. Focus thing. She is focusing. She's focused. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I think that's a worthwhile idea of reaching out to the Historical Resource Committee, see if they have any interests or resources to contribute. Mary, you had mentioned the idea of the tribal leader of the That's, I bet you're right. Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk a little more. Yeah, let's talk more first about it. Yeah.
perhaps doing something at Zots to Tots.
In September,
It's not, yeah. I mean, yeah, okay.
publicizing in some way.
Publicizing. Hmm. To have an event? Something?
Yeah, the one thing that's unique to our town is one of the places that the Rebel Pomponio set up shop for a little while. And that actually happened here. The street named after the range.
Mm-hmm.
And not people seem to know about it. So that might be worth looking into, educating people about, because it does connect to history. It's a little bit, it's well into the colonial period because he was fighting the French.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually killed, I think, at the mission, but yeah. That's at least something people should know about. It's heritage of the Native American.
Definitely. And I think there's probably other stories too
Yeah.
that would have that local. So even just using the opportunity to bring those stories into people's awareness. Well, I'm interested in working on this. Would anyone else be interested in continuing to think through what we might offer and doing some organizing? Did you raise your hand, Mary? Okay. All right. That's a good ally. Excellent. All right.
I'll help.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Hmm.
Jasper Ridge is going to owe me a favor because I'm doing a star party there.
You are like you're the star of the star party.
I'm
Nice.
doing a town one, and I'm doing a Jasper Ridge one a week apart.
Cool.
So, people can help. I'll do with all the docents. So for November, I won't be around.
Okay. All right. So Adnan, some interest, Councilmember Huffy, and myself. Great. Well, I'll follow up with you all this week to keep the conversation going. Any public comment? Okay. On to item number 4C, discuss honoring different heritage history months throughout the year. Yeah, so I feel like the last couple years, Black History Month has rolled around and people are like, oh, what are we doing? What are you doing? And it's been too late. So just wanting to look ahead at the calendar and see if we want to get a start on organizing anything. Looking up the list of months. So just for our awareness, January takes a rest from heritage. And then February is Black History Month, March is Women's History Month, May is Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Oh, no, yeah. Oh, and May is also Jewish American Heritage Month. June is LGBTQ plus Pride Month. July is Disability Pride Month. September is Hispanic Heritage Month, and November is Native American Heritage Month. So these are the different federally recognized heritage months for us to work with if we want to. The next one after Native American Heritage Month is Black History Month in February. So, and then Women's History after that. So I guess Black History Month is the next one to look at if anyone has interest in, yeah, developing any level of offering around that.
And I really think the best way for us to approach something like this, people who want us to sponsor them so they can use facilities or something,
Mm-hmm.
do something, or us trying to.
Yeah.
We got all of us have other things to do. And so, but all of this, that does require an outreach. That would seem much.
That's a worthwhile idea. Who, like, what sorts of, who would you imagine wanting to use the town facilities? Like, what sort of,
Well, whoever it is who's doing programs at other places for the same month.
yeah.
If they're doing a tour, we could be on the tour.
Yes. Hmm. Yeah, and now we're sort of looking into the beginning of 2024. Starting with February, Black History Month. Yeah, and Andrew, I like what you're saying of, you know, we don't have to reinvent the wheel and create something outside of what's realistic. We can help.
You were mentioning somebody at Stanford, I can't remember if it was sitting on this committee or who it was, who might be a good person for Black History Month. I'll go ask the phone.
Okay. Yeah.
Unless you want to do it. It might be somebody. You know what I'm talking about? About something.
Oh, maybe Mary Ann Derwin was talking about it. Yeah. Black history.
It might have been Rita. She used to come to our meeting. It might have been Rita who came up with this idea. She used to come to our meeting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, okay. Do committee members, individual committee members have any different level of interest for organizing around this than the previous question with Native American Heritage Month? Andrew, it seems like you might have some more interest.
I'll make some inquiry.
Okay, and we can check in the next meeting. Yeah, and maybe the Race and Equity Committee could find like a rhythm or a format within which we can plan around these months so that we're not always trying to reinvent the wheel as we approach them, but we have sort of a format. Like, for instance, you know, we send out an email once a week via Portola Valley and forum and communications and stuff, and have one sort of speaker event, you know.
Now, I know when I was on the Palo Alto Human Relations Commission and Santa Clara County Human Relations, there are groups that would just come to us.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them would come to say, fine, what do you want to do? Let's look at it. Can we approve it? No, we didn't have to go find it. We found it.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not as well known.
Yeah.
But if we get ourselves well known, maybe.
Okay. Well, we'll start the combo about Native American heritage next month, and then we can all think into Black History Month and how we want to organize into that. Okay, thank you. So, agenda item number 5, old business. Item A is a brief update on AI minute taking trial, which has literally just happened. So,
And
yeah.
I linked the AI notes in the notes as well, so I don't know how we want to present them, but they're ready for consumption.
Cool. Do you think it would make sense to look at them at our next meeting
Sure.
as a,
Yeah.
right now might be too soon? or-
Right now, my,
Very recursive to look at them.
yeah, we could look at them right now.
Take notes on the notes.
Notes on the notes. Yeah, I could present and see and show you what they look like if you're interested in just seeing what that is.
Sure. Quick glance.
A quick glance. So let's see. Oh yeah, here we go. So these are the notes. So it basically has taken all of these notes.
So is it verbatim, more or less?
It's pretty verbatim. The other thing that happens on the side, you can see where it says committee membership and rename. So this is it's like it summarizes them on the side right
Mhm.
here. The Columbus Day, Indigenous Peoples Day. There's a little summary. The
But
use
go-
of name Columbus, tribal leader. I mean, again, this is, it's incorrect names, but so there are mistakes, but again, with transcription and sometimes mumbling, that can be tricky.
Mhm.
So, yeah, but they'll be here for consumption. We can kind of like go through this and take a look.
Cool. Yeah. So if you could include, some version of this with the minutes from this meeting, and then we'll include it in the next agenda packet.
Yeah.
As a
Yeah, I've
Take a
put
look.
the link in and I've shared it with you.
great. Excellent.
Great.
Thank you, Adnan. Any public comment? Item B, give and hear updates on subcommittee activity. I don't know how much subcommittees have been active per se, so we can, not focus on each subcommittee too much. But one thing I was wondering about housing is the inclusionary housing fee work at rest from the committees, like from the Race and Equity Committee?
I think we're good to go at this point.
Now it's in the hands of the
It's
council.
it's in the hands. It's been passed on. Has it?
Laura, is she gonna take it with her?
Laura? The late Laura?
The late Laura, she's got a week left.
Jeez. I'm like kind of interested in being part of like some subcommittee, so I want to like get more involved with that. Are there any that I could like try to join a subcommittee and try to become involved with that?
Okay, I'm hearing that you're interested in joining a subcommittee. Are you talking about housing specifically or just subcommittees in general?
Well, housing sounds really interesting, but I don't know. I just want like join in general.
Okay, sounds good. We will keep that in mind and we can talk after the meeting if, to figure out the right fit.
Wait, what? Now that we've done all of this work and involved all of these people and like, yeah.
Hmm. Okay.
That's okay. That's all right.
No, yeah, just wondering about that. And then also related to housing, Mary, I was wondering in the housing process as it goes on, in the implementation phase, or are there places where you could see race and equity, like that the perspective of the committee would be useful. Okay. Okay.
What's going on with the Rena thing at this point? Speaking as a former ad hoc committee member. Okay.
The state. Okay, well, Mary, as the, process continues to unfold, please keep our committee in mind if there's ever, support or perspective moments where it would be good to us, have us involved. Any other subcommittee? Anybody want to talk about a subcommittee? No pressure. Any public comments on subcommittee activity? Nope, okay. Sounds fine to me. If anybody wants to, get more active with their subcommittee before the next meeting, feel free. I'm happy to talk about anything. Item C was here about San Mateo County grand jury report. I think this one got a little lost between me and you, Andrew, and so maybe we're not ready to discuss the grand. Like, do you have any? I don't have anything more to say about the grand jury report than when we talked about it a couple of months ago. Do you have anything more? No. Okay, sounds good. And item D is discuss and approve final land acknowledgement revision. I know that sounds ridiculous at this point because it's been, well, maybe semi-ridiculous because it's been so many different iterations. I'm going to share screen right now and just get one last look for, I would love for you all to take one last look at a land acknowledgement. And here, I'm going to share this screen. Because I would like to put this to bed as much as any of the rest of you would maybe prefer to not hear about it at, at another meeting. So here, before we look at this, actually, I just want to say I am planning to submit, like, as was requested, more than one sort of version to work with. So I'll include the previous original land acknowledgement, the current land acknowledgement that we were asked to revise. I think I'll include adding on the draft that you wrote up last time. And then I'm a little nervous to include like a really brief version, just like the briefest possible, because what if the town council is like, oh great, that's the one we want, that just like mentions the name of the tribe, so I don't know. I feel nervous or about including something too brief, but this one here actually
This one is pretty brief.
yeah, and I was striving, the goal was for greater brevity here because I want people to actually read it. And yeah.
May I suggest that
Yes.
in the last line where you say and seek to cultivate, seek is one word.
Uh-huh.
Necessarily want.
Sure.
Want to cultivate it. I like want more because I think it's our language. Doing it.
Okay. Yeah, so Portola Valley exists on the unceded homeland of the Ramaytush Ohlone, Tamian Nation, and the Wekma Ohlone, the original inhabitants and stewards of this place, who were brutally devastated by colonialism, which is ongoing. We recognize the resilience and persistence of these people and cultures and seek to cultivate respectful engagement with them. I was trying to, boil it down a little more, get it a little tighter.
I like the change from seek to want.
You like that? Thank you.
I know there's some debate about the ongoing nature of colonialism. Anyways, if it's okay with everyone, gonna put forth you mean as a tribe of this place? And I haven't heard any mention of the Amamutsun people as like this being the place. They're more to the south. Anyways, unless there's any other feedback, I'll more or less take those different versions that we've discussed and put them together and try and give the town council some suggestion, but also let them hash it out to some extent.
Sounds good to me.
Andrew, anything you wanted to say?
I don't know what again, colonialism. That just seems like.
Yeah.
what are we talking about? The language, is that what we're talking about?
Well, the devastation is ongoing.
Yeah.
It might not be the colonialism which is ongoing, it's
Well,
the
that's the way it
devastation.
reads by colonialism, which is ongoing.
Devastated by colonialism.
The colonialism and the devastation are ongoing. Okay, look, seems like that could be wordsmith better. And actually, that's the work that I'd like to do on it further to try and just give something that is like that reads really well, so that people also want to read it more. That's like not choppy. So, and work on that more. And I know that this version is like lacking that harshness, which I think that that real honesty that appeals to a lot of us. I was talking to my wife about it, and she thinks just the fact of the town having a land acknowledgement, like people are going to feel uncomfortable and challenged by that. So I think that that's true to some extent, so that it can serve without, and try and find a middle path, I guess. All right, well, I hope that I never present you another draft of this. I can't promise, but I will do my best. And unless there's any further comments, we can put this to rest. And the next time I talk to you about it, hopefully it will be about town council conversation. Oh, thank you, Andy. I need to hear that. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Lucy.
Okay, well, that was our last agenda item. So unless there's anything else anybody wants to talk about. Mary, you raising both hands? Okay, great. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the only thing I'd like to add at the end of the meeting, you probably ought to be looking for more members.
Yes.
Have that thing.
Yeah, currently we're 6. Judy might be out for a little bit. She might be back next month.
I have a
hopefully.
couple of folks I can talk to.
Okay. Yeah. We have three open spots right now.
And,
so.
and the process is for them to just fill out the,
There's a
interest
form.
form
Yeah,
on
that-
the website.
that is the process.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, great. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I move that we
I second, I third.
And I fourth. Okay, thanks, everybody. And our next meeting is Tuesday, October 10th, 6:30. If there's anything you would like to see discussed at that meeting, please let me know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mary,
Thank
for joining
you.
us. Thanks, Cole, for joining us.